Welcome to NYNJPA weather. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. And it looks like we have another snow event approaching the northern mid-Atlantic. But how much snow will fall? Well, let's take a look. Here's our current surface map as of 9 a.m. And as you can see, we have high pressure sitting over the northern mid-Atlantic back through the Ohio Valley, producing generally quiet yet cloudy conditions as a storm starts to develop to the west. We have an area low pressure that is developing over southern Texas and another one over the Great Lakes that will eventually combine to produce some snow for the region late tonight through tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at the latest water vapor satellite picture because I have a few features I want to point out. So clearly what we have in place here are two very impressive disturbances, one over the northern plains and the other one over the southern plains, and these two disturbances are starting to create a tremendous amount of lifting over the Ohio Valley, Tennessee River Valley, Mississippi River Valley, and the southeast. Why this is happening is because as these disturbances merge, the lifting ahead of these disturbances intensifies as well. So as a result, we're starting to have snow break out all throughout the Ohio Valley and Tennessee River Valley. Meanwhile, I should also note that we have Arctic air building into the region, into the northern Atlantic, should I say. Temperatures today are not moving much at all from where they are right now. So basically, if you're at 33, 32, or 29 degrees right now, you're not moving much at all for the rest of the day. In fact, by this afternoon, you'll be falling into the 20s and teens. So clearly we have a very cold air mass in place. We have moisture starting to move in from the Gulf of Mexico and from the Atlantic as this low pressure system starts to develop, and that means snow. As for this low pressure system that's currently over southern Texas, it's going to move towards the Tennessee River Valley, redevelop off the Delaware coast, and that is where things get interesting because this low pressure system will rapidly intensify while moving towards the New England coastal waters tomorrow morning. So what does that mean as far as snowfall? Well, before we get to that, let's take a look at the radar picture because I noticed a few interesting features with the radar. Notice on the radar over the Ohio Valley back towards the Mississippi River Valley that we're starting to get precipitation reaching a moderate range already. And this is ahead of any of the more significant lifting. Now this precipitation is eventually going to move northeast and east-northeast towards the northern mid-Atlantic with some snow entering the region by about 9 p.m. over eastern Pennsylvania and progressing eastward and reaching Connecticut by about 1 a.m. Now, a few interesting points I want to make here. One, notice the light gray areas. It's a little hard to see unless you really zoom in over portions of Pennsylvania and Ohio and Maryland. Now, what this is showing is high level moisture or virga. The snowflakes are developing way up in the atmosphere but aren't reaching the ground. But this is important because it's already moisturizing the atmosphere. So when the more significant snowfall approaches your location, you won't have to wait for the atmosphere to moisten up to allow the snow to begin. The snow will just begin, and given that temperatures are in the 20s, they will have no problem at all in sticking to the ground. So we're going to have a pretty quick pickup from snow starting to actual significant accumulation on your location because of these cold temperatures and because we're already starting to see virga developing over the mid-Atlantic as we speak. And this is as of 9 a.m. So as this continues on through the day, you'll notice clouds are starting to lower. Temperatures, of course, are going to be colder because of evaporational cooling and also the Arctic air building in. So clearly we're looking at a cold and cloudy day today. Don't be surprised if you see a few snow flurries, even a few isolated snow showers developing ahead of the main system because of this process of moisture moving in ahead of the main storm. So what can we expect with this snowfall? Well, here's my forecast as of now. This is the snowfall map that I made this morning as of about 7 a.m. And you'll notice to the north and west of the Philadelphia, New York City metropolitan areas, I generally have anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow. The reason why is because this low pressure system is still going to be developing. It's actually going to be redeveloping off the Delaware coast when much of the snowfall impacts these locations. And the lifting will not be as impressive because it's refocusing along the coast. So I'm expecting 2 to 4 inches of snow. There will be some breaks in the snow shield, so you won't snow continuously, which is going to limit your snowfall just a bit. Now, along the coast, a little bit different story. First of all, for the 3 to 6 inch snowfall, which basically covers the Philadelphia to New York City metropolitan area, I'm expecting the snow to increase in intensity and become moderate at times. And as a result, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches, most locations will be around 3 to 4 inches. Now, it gets very interesting along the New Jersey coast, let's say from central Monmouth County down through Ocean, Atlantic, and Cape May counties of New Jersey, and of course, the southern side and eastern side of Long Island. You notice here I just added the 6+ inch with a little question mark here. This is because of the latest data that just came in at 9 a.m. And there's a few features that concern me with this forecast. For one, the temperatures at the mid-levels are going to crash rapidly. They're going to fall anywhere from -4 to -6 degrees Celsius. And that's really important because temperatures at the surface, they're going to fall a little bit slower. More like in the mid to upper 20s, a few lower 30s along the immediate coast. And that creates a tremendous instability in the atmosphere while this low pressure system is starting to intensify. Such an environment does lead to mesoscale banding. And when you have a rapidly cooling atmosphere, you increase your snowfall rates possibly from 1 to 2 inches per hour in isolated cases. Now, I don't have enough data to say this is a slam dunk for sure, but for this video at this time as of 9 a.m., I did want to include the threat just to kind of throw it out there that if you do fall under some mesoscale banding as this low pressure system intensifies tomorrow morning, you'll get basically kind of like an ocean effect snowfall developing along the immediate coast. And if you fall into one of those bands, someone could end up with a surprise 6 inches or more. Limit I'd put at it is 10 because of the speed of this storm. But I think I needed to throw that out there as of right now just to keep you on your toes. Most locations will be anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of snow because of the speed of this storm. But again, we're going to have to keep an eye on this mesoscale banding. That looks like it's gaining more and more support from the latest model guidance that's coming out and the way that the atmosphere as a whole is starting to evolve. So today's video basically focused on the snowfall for tonight through tomorrow. Through this weekend, it's going to be very cold with temperatures in the 20s for highs, so don't expect it to get warmer anytime soon. And then there's another potential major winter storm coming up for late Tuesday night into Wednesday. Details on this storm are a little bit sketchy, but the fact that cold air will be in place, I can pretty much guarantee that snow will be the precipitation type to expect, at least to start for this storm. Whether it remains all snow is still in question. But it's going to be something we're going to have to watch as we move forward over the next couple of days. Thank you for trusting NYNJPA Weather as your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Have an excellent day.